Hello. This month is Down Syndrome Awareness Month, and I thought I would do a video of Oliver's story. Oliver, if you don't know, is our ambassador for signwithcaoimhe, and he has got Down syndrome, and at a very young age, he was diagnosed with leukemia, but luckily he is in 5 years of remission now from that horrible disease that he had, cancer. He got cancer, and his family was amazing with him the whole way through that. What family wouldn't be? But I would like to tell you his story, as a whole today. I don't think we have told Oliver's story as a whole on this channel. We have on his page and on our Facebook page, but I don't think we have done a video about it yet. And I just thought that we would today, as the month is World Down Syndrome Awareness Month. And so this is a story told through Oliver's mum's eyes. And it's a sad story, but it has a happy ending. And so I'm going to start telling you his story. If any organisations or community groups or companies or anything would like us to come in and tell you his story with Oliver and Adele, Oliver's mum, we'd be more than happy to. So off we go. Oliver was born on the 28th of January 2012. It was Adele's last child of 5. And it happened to be her only boy. So before Oliver, Adele had only girls. No one knew that Oliver had Down syndrome, including Adele. So no scans picked it up or anything. And it was seconds after Adele had gave birth to Oliver, when he was put in her arms, she noticed he looked like he might have Down syndrome. She also remembers, asking a midwife that question, has he got Down syndrome? The midwife looked at Oliver and said nothing. The midwife then went outside and called the doctor in, and the room went very quiet. Imagine you think your child, your last born, has has Down syndrome, and the doctor came in and the room was completely silent. All you could hear was a pin dropping. They took him away. They took Oliver away. The doctors and the midwives took Oliver away and examined him. Adele now knew what they were looking for. And the telltale immediately obvious signs was of these of Down syndrome is sandal toes, palms crease, so like little lines on your arms, on your hands, and the palms of your hands. And the muscle tone. Muscle tone is very important, as well as the crease on his eyes. I knew that Adele knew before they confirmed it, that Oliver had Down syndrome. what Waddell did not realise that it was just basically an amazing addition to their family. He was going to be, and how much he would be loved by everyone that came in contact with him, not only his family. We took Oliver a couple of weeks ago. I will find a couple of clips a couple of months ago now, and I will find a clip of Oliver at a fundraiser for Great Ormond Street Hospital. Everybody just loved him at that. And then for the next 2 years after Oliver was born, it was a whirlwind of appointments and checkups and watching Oliver, Adele's beautiful baby boy, grow, develop, and just get more loving and gorgeous by the day. It was tiring sometimes, and it did take a while for Adele to accept Oliver had Down syndrome. And but that's okay, guys. You do not have to accept it straight away. You can take as long as you need to accept something like this. Just remember that. And then Adele often had guilt about initial feelings around finding out that Oliver, or even you might have these feelings, finding out your child has Down syndrome. But these feelings will eventually go away. But also you'll have a feeling, like Adele also had feelings of grief, worry, and wondering how would she cope? Or how would you cope with a child with special needs? And health issues and everything else that goes with it. This is all completely normal. You can feel like it, but just remember, Adele felt like this. Oliver's mum felt like this. For Adele, she wished that she had realised why that very first day he was born, that he was an acceptable gift. It was an amazing gift. And that she had been given. It didn't take Adele long to realise what an amazing little boy Oliver is. Oliver is an amazing little boy. But just before his second birthday, he started not being very well. And he was constantly having colds. He seemed to be very tired. He was at his regular checkup with his pediatrician. Sorry if I said that wrong. His Down syndrome consultant. That a tiny pinprick rash was picked up. They then were told that I had to take him there and then to Northwick Park Hospital, Oliver's local hospital, for bloods. But with Down syndrome, there's a very high risk of development in leukemia. And sadly, Adele's granddad died of that cancer So it did play on Adele's mind very heavily. But thankfully, at that stage, his bloods came back clear. But his story does get sad from this point, and I will continue telling his story on this as well. And a whole of his story. I think it important to tell you his story. And then then that was in the October, but over the next 2 months, Oliver did not seem to get any better. It was on Boxing Day that year that Adele took Oliver to A&E as he had a burst eardrum that was bleeding. They were told, Adele and her family were told, that it was an infection. And he was out on antibiotics, which seemed to help his ear. And he got better from that. But he still seemed very tired. He also had bruises in the odd places. And the pin-picked rash didn't go. In fact, it looked bigger. And in January the following year, after Christmas, she decided to take Oliver back to the doctors because she wasn't happy. Just 3 months after his last blood test, we were told that because he had bloods done 3 months period, Adele told that because he had the bloods done 3 months beforehand, it was unlikely anything bad would come up. So we weren't expecting. So they weren't expecting anything. So anything bad. So they went back to the hospital and had future blood, and Oliver had more blood tests done. And she was Adele kind of lured into a false sense of security by the certainty facts that he had bloods done and they were clear. Unlike last time, she wasn't worried. Adele was not worried at all. That was until the consultant came in to them later at the hospital and told them his bloods were showing abnormalities. They were told, his white blood cell counts were high and his red count was low. Adele remembers telling them Adele remembers saying that to them, it's leukemia, isn't it? Unfortunately, they confirmed that it was leukemia. Adele cannot even tell us how that destroyed her family and her. It was the most terrifying time, and one that no parent should ever have to go through. Imagine your child had bloods done beforehand, 3 months before, And then the January after them bloods were done, you were told that your child had leukemia. Just put that picture in your head, and then you will know how Adele felt. Adele's brave boy Oliver spent 2.5 years in treatment, going between Great Ormond Street Hospital and Northwick Park Hospital. Both hospitals were amazing with him. Really were. And we have every thanks to them hospitals here at signwithcaoimhe. And I want to tell you something very special we're doing at the end of this video. And we just think it's the right time to launch this thing, me and Adele, and I hope you get behind us in it. But I'll go into more details about that at a later date. At the end of this video, sorry. And so they spent Oliver spent 2.5 years in going between Great Ormond Street and Northwick Park, where both hospitals were amazing. Sorry, I just repeated myself. I lost where I was. And in the end, Adele and her family were told that the side effects of all the chemo and toxics of the medication and everything else could provide a seemingly dangerous for him. It got to a point where Oliver's body basically he said normal. So treatment was stopped 6 months early. Thankfully, I know I said 5 years earlier on, actually being 6 years. He is in remission for at least 6 years now. I know I said 5 years earlier, but I got that wrong. So he's in remission for 6 years, even though he still kept an eye on, even now, that all the treatment for the cancer has finished. But that treatment is could cause some damage to his organs due to the toxicity of the treatments. Oliver is amazing, funny, brave, lovely, loving, seemingly cheeky, and happy little fella. We are so happy to know Oliver and his family. Oliver loves trampolines. He is fantastic at reading. And he loves his family. He loves me. I say to Adele, like, if I go 6 weeks without seeing Oliver, for example, it's nearly that already, I know, because they went away. But I say to Adele, I need my Oliver hugs, because Oliver gives me an amazing hug, and we are so happy here at signwithcaoimhe to have him as our ambassador. Oliver is such an amazing little boy. And now I would like to tell you what we'll be doing for Great Ormond Street Hospital. We are launching a year-round fundraiser for Great Ormond Street Hospital. The page will be up and running for as long as we need. I will be doing 24-hour sign-in challenges, fundraisers. Me and Adele will be doing walks together, etc. for this hospital. And I just think it's the right time to launch it, with it being Down Syndrome Awareness Month. And with me and Oliver attending a couple of events for Great Ormond Street in the new year to raise money for the hospital, I just think, once again, this is now the right time to launch this fundraiser for them. So please get behind it. We will hopefully be launching our first fundraising challenge in the next couple of weeks. But once again, just please get behind it and support this challenge, these small fundraisers. Let's raise a good amount of money for Great Ormond Street Hospital, and please just support us through everything with this fundraising journey we are now entering on to here at signwithcaoimhe. And once again, I would like to thank you all for your support, to Oliver and to me. We are so grateful for everything you do to support us here at signwithcaoimhe. And as of the beginning of the month, £5 every March sale will be going to the fundraiser as well for Great Ormond Street. So go over, buy a top, or even if you want to wear a top, just put some money in for us to help us raise an amazing amount for the hospital, who basically saved, like you heard in Oliver's story, saved his life. Thank you. Bye guys, I'll see you next time.